In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and vast meadows, there lived a man named Thomas. Thomas was known far and wide for his unwavering dedication to his work. Every morning, as the sun cast its first golden rays across the landscape, Thomas would prepare his sturdy cart and faithful horse Max for the day's journey. Thomas's routine was a testament to his hard-working nature. He would load his cart with an array of goods, from fresh produce to handcrafted wares, and set off on the well-trodden paths that led to the neighboring towns. Max, with his strong build and gentle eyes, was Thomas's constant companion, pulling the cart with steady determination. The duo was a familiar sight, their silhouettes etched against the horizon as they made their way across fields and through forests. Thomas took pride in his work, finding joy in the simple yet fulfilling life he led. He was a man of action, always ready to tackle the day's challenges with a sense of purpose and resolve. Yet, despite his diligence, Thomas had a flaw, a streak of impatience that sometimes clouded his judgment. He often expected immediate results and would grow frustrated when things didn't go as planned. But for the most part, his days were marked by the rhythmic clatter of the cart's wheels and the gentle clopping of Max's hooves, a harmonious symphony of man and beast working in unison. As the village stirred to life each morning, Thomas and Max embarked on their daily route, a symbol of perseverance and dedication. Little did Thomas know, however, that his steadfast routine was about to be disrupted by an unexpected challenge, one that would test his patience and resolve like never before. One fateful morning, as Thomas and Max were making their way along a particularly rugged path, disaster struck. The cart's wheels slipped into a deep rut, and despite Max's best efforts, it remained hopelessly stuck. Thomas, feeling a surge of frustration, jumped down from the cart and assessed the situation. He shouted at Max, urging the horse to pull harder, but no matter how much Max strained, the cart wouldn't budge. Thomas's frustration quickly turned into anger. He cursed the uneven road, the stubborn cart, and even poor Max. He kicked at the ground and threw up his hands in exasperation. "Why won't this cart move?" he yelled, his voice echoing in the still morning air. Desperation began to seep into his heart. He sat down on a nearby rock, head in his hands, and looked up at the sky. "Please, someone help me," he called out, hoping for a miracle. He felt trapped and helpless, his usual confidence shaken by this unexpected obstacle. As he sat there, waiting for an answer from the heavens, he did nothing to actually free the cart himself. Instead, he continued to shout at Max, expecting the horse to do all the work. His impatience and frustration blinded him to the simple truth that sometimes one must put in their own effort to overcome challenges. The village slowly came to life around him, but Thomas remained focused on his dilemma, unable to see a way out. Little did he know, his cries for help were about to be answered in a most unexpected way. Thomas's frustration grew as the minutes ticked by. He alternated between shouting at Max and pleading with the sky, but the cart remained firmly stuck. His sense of despair deepened, and he began to feel hopeless. It seemed that no amount of shouting or pleading would change his predicament. As Thomas sat there, his mind raced with thoughts of all the work he would miss and the disappointment of those waiting for his goods. He could feel the weight of his responsibilities pressing down on him, yet he still couldn't bring himself to take any direct action. Instead, he continued to berate Max, demanding the horse to pull harder, despite seeing the exhaustion in Max's eyes. The morning sun climbed higher, casting a warm glow over the village, but Thomas felt no warmth in his heart. His frustration had turned into a deep-seated anger, not just at the cart and the horse, but at himself for being in this situation. He felt as if the universe had conspired against him, leaving him helpless and stranded. Just as his despair reached its peak, a soft, ethereal light began to glow nearby. Thomas, his vision blurred by frustration, didn't notice it at first. It wasn't until the light grew brighter, almost too bright to ignore, that he looked up, shielding his eyes with his hand. Standing before him was a figure unlike any he had ever seen, an angel bathed in a radiant glow with a serene and kind expression. The angel's presence was calming, a stark contrast to Thomas's turmoil. As Thomas stared in awe, the angel spoke, their voice gentle yet powerful, carrying a message that would change Thomas's perspective forever. The angel's calming presence enveloped Thomas, bringing a momentary peace to his troubled heart. He stared in awe, unsure if what he saw was real. The angel smiled gently, sensing Thomas's confusion and despair. "Thomas," the angel began, their voice resonating with warmth and wisdom, "I have heard your cries for help. I see your frustration and your struggle. But there is a lesson you must learn in this moment of difficulty." Thomas, still in disbelief, stammered, "Who are you? How can you help me?" "I am a messenger," the angel replied softly, "sent to remind you of the strength and perseverance within you. You have been waiting for a miracle, but sometimes the miracle lies in your own effort and determination." Thomas's eyes widened with realization, but his doubt lingered. "I've tried everything," he said, his voice tinged with frustration. "Max can't pull the cart out on his own, and I've prayed for help." The angel nodded, understanding Thomas's plight. "It is true that Max cannot do it alone, but neither can you if you only sit and wait. You must work together, and you must believe in your own ability to overcome this challenge. Stand up, Thomas. Put your hands to the task. Encourage Max, not with anger, but with support and kindness." Thomas felt a spark of hope ignite within him. The angel's words resonated deeply, cutting through his frustration and self-doubt. He stood up, determination replacing despair in his heart. He approached Max and gently patted the horse's neck, murmuring words of encouragement. With renewed vigor, Thomas grabbed hold of the cart. He heaved and pushed with all his might, while Max, sensing Thomas's change in spirit, pulled with newfound strength. Together, they strained against the rut that had held them back. The angel watched with a knowing smile, the light around them shimmering with approval. Slowly but surely, the cart began to move. Inch by inch, it emerged from the deep rut, until finally, with a last mighty effort, it was free. Thomas stood panting, sweat on his brow, but a triumphant smile on his face. He turned to thank the angel, but the radiant figure was already fading, leaving behind a lingering sense of peace and strength. "Remember, Thomas," the angel's voice echoed softly as they disappeared, "with effort and perseverance, you can overcome any obstacle. Do not wait for others to do what you can achieve yourself." Thomas nodded, absorbing the lesson. He looked at Max and smiled, grateful for the loyal companion by his side. As he resumed his journey, the cart rolling smoothly along the path, Thomas carried with him a newfound understanding of the power of persistence and self-reliance. Thomas and Max continued their journey with a renewed sense of purpose. The lesson from the angel had ignited a spark within Thomas, transforming his outlook on challenges. The path ahead seemed less daunting, and every step felt lighter with the wisdom he now carried. As they traveled through fields and forests, Thomas reflected on the events that had transpired. He realized how often he had relied on external help without first giving his best effort. The angel's words echoed in his mind, reinforcing his newfound determination to face difficulties head-on. When they arrived at the neighboring town, Thomas felt a sense of accomplishment that went beyond delivering his goods. He had overcome a significant hurdle, not just on the road, but within himself. The townspeople greeted him warmly, unaware of the profound change that had taken place. Thomas smiled, sharing friendly words and feeling a deeper connection to his work and his community. In the days that followed, Thomas approached every task with the same resolve. Whenever he faced a challenge, he remembered the angel's advice. He worked diligently, encouraging Max with kind words and gentle pats. Their bond grew stronger, and they became an even more efficient team. The story of Thomas and his cart spread through the village, inspiring others who struggled with their own obstacles. Thomas became known not only for his hard work, but also for his wisdom and perseverance. He often shared his experience, reminding everyone that while help might come, the true power to overcome lies within each person. One evening, as the sun set over the rolling hills, Thomas sat beside Max, gazing at the horizon. He felt a deep sense of peace and gratitude. The angel's visit had been a turning point, teaching him that with effort and perseverance, any challenge could be met and conquered. As night fell, Thomas and Max rested, ready to face a new day with the strength and determination that had seen them through the toughest of times. They had learned that giving up was never an option, and that true success came from within. To stay updated with all the channel's content and not miss any videos, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, like, share with your friends, and comment below what you learned from the previous lesson in the video. May God be with you all, and see you next time. Bye.